Going on YouTube? This is Rodney with Core EDC with the TWOSUN TS127 that's been done in a gray dye, synthetic. And even though I did everything I know to do, it's synthetic, and the dish detergent and the vinegar and soaking and bringing it to temperature, I cannot seem to get rid of that slightly orangish hue. And I can try to do it again and again and again, and I get the same results. For some reason, I have the worst time with orange. It almost looks sort of brownish under light. Under this bright light, it shows more. When it's not behind the light, you can't really see the brown in this. But I think it come out pretty good. You can really see the detail of the contour G10, the different layers. It almost goes to a gray to a brown to a black to a red and back and forth. It's funny that the back smooth side got good and black, brown, graphite colored, but this scale side continues to show, and as you can see, it gets farther away from the light, it looks more black. And then when you get closer on the bright light of the camera, it shows. This was a daily carry not too long ago, the TS127. So if you want to revert back to that video, you can see the orange on it. Really nice drop point blade with a lot of belly to it. This is a Wang Denzhen design in 12C27 milled titanium clip with titanium liners. Really nicely done. The liners are not skeletonized because it's titanium, and it does have the hardened insert because it is titanium. It's running on bearings, jimping on the flipper tab. Action is great. And while I did that to this TWOSUN, I noticed that there is a slight gap in the transition point from the G10 to the carbon fiber. And it was there, but I could not see it as well. Now that it's darker, it shows up more to me, the transition point, because you can actually see it. So I'm going to try a few tricks I know to see if I can make that disappear. That'll be for another video. Another one I did today, you can look back on an earlier video of mine, is the TS64, to where this area remained a lot more orange than it does now. And this is also done in the synthetic graphite black. Super belly on this blade. Very, very nice looking. A lot of belly. This thing is sweet. Super drop shutty. What I did do to this one before I did the dye job is this had a lot of square corners on it, and it was a sharp feeling in the hand. So I said to myself, while I'm going to dip this in dye again, I went and sanded all these corners around a little bit and took some of these sharp edges off. Basically just, took the corners here. You can see where I've polished around the corners to take some of that sharpness off all the way around. I just did that with some 220 grit paper. Didn't take but a few minutes to do it. You can see now it's slightly radius with probably about a 30-second radius all around. This has the milled titanium pocket clip. Works great in and out of pocket. I did not like this knife as much as the titanium version, primarily because of the sharp edges. And now that I have sanded and polished on that, it feels really great in hand. This is a great knife. Absolutely love it. And that's the die job on the two knives today, the TS64 and the TS127. And you can see the orange. Both of these knives were orange. You can still see some of that orange is trying to come through. If there's anything that I'm not doing right, if I'm using a fairly small pot, I'm adding a mixture of dye and water, more dye than water. That might be one of my problems. A little bit of vinegar, teaspoon of dish detergent, synthetic dye, and bringing it up to a temperature of about 200 degrees, not boiling, and anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes to get it right. Maybe almost an hour actually on these two. And this is the results I got. It's more of a black than a gray. I'm sure this would probably look gray over some jade G10 or tan G10. But again, since it was orange, it's just not perfect. Still really like it though. I like it better than the orange, and I like this one. It come out better than it was before. You can look at the previous videos and see where it was before. And underneath the light, you can see some of that orange, like more so in that pocket than that pocket. And all these were cleaned very well with soap, degreased, and all that stuff before they were dipped into the pot. But it is what it is. It's a learning curve doing Rit die work. Sometimes you watch a video or you research it and it just looks so easy, and people have flawless die jobs. And so far, of every die job I've done, it seems like I can't get quite the result or finish I'm going for. With that being said, every one I have done has been a TWOSUN model in orange. So I do have one, the TS114 that I did, that has sort of a battle worn finish that I like, that I'm not going to re-dye it. I sort of like the way it come out, but I did not like the finished result on this, and this was a first time piece today. So I had a totally new one done, and then a sort of, I reckon you would call it a repair on that one. That's what I got. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope y'all have a great, blessed weekend. This is Rodney with Garrickle EDC, and stay tuned for my next video. I have a knife for sale, and I got a couple other things. I'm going to do a conglomeration of 3 or 4 things in one video. All right. Thanks. Y'all take care. Bye now.